Okay, so hello everybody. I'm Marta and I'm from Portugal.
I'm Ashing from Ireland.
I'm Jake from Malta.
I'm Mariki from Finland.
Together with us is Eric from Lithuania, which is actually over there. He's waving. He's with the technical team. Much appreciated. Thank you, Eric.
And online we have tuning in Jaden from Ghana and Australian representatives.
Okay, so today in this workshop, Cyberbullying and Hate Online, we're going to tell you a little bit about our national perspectives on cyberbullying, what our countries are facing in terms of cyberbullying and hate online. Also, we're going to talk to you about our international perspective, what is being done, and what we think still needs to be done and talked about when we're talking about cyberbullying and hate online. We're going to have some very dynamic moments for you guys to share your opinion with us and for us to try to make you think otherwise. So please, we're going to need our phones for this presentation. We'll have lots of things for you to scan and to do, but please try to be as attentive as possible because we have lots of things to say in a very short time.
So now we're going to show you a video on how our perspectives from our countries and how our friends think of cyberbullying in our countries.
In Finland, cyberbullying isn't so obvious as people would think.
It's disguised as a joke, so it's harder to know if it's bullying or not.
It's common that people comment something negative, for example in YouTube videos or Instagram posts.
Every fourth Finn over the age of 10 has experienced cyberbullying.
In Finland, the most common place for cyberbullying is Facebook. In Finland, cyberbullying has become more common because of the rapid development of technology.
We have to do something to cyberbullying to make the internet a better place for everyone.
Cyberbullying in Malta, like many other countries, is a growing concern, especially as young people are more connected to the internet and social media platforms. While there is no specific national law dedicated solely to cyberbullying in Malta, in schools, Malta educates students about risks of cyberbullying, emphasizing the importance of being cautious online. As Maltese students, it is crucial to continue raising awareness about cyberbullying and to ensure that both victims and bullies have access to support and education. Kids, be safe online.
For Portugal, cyberbullying is
not cool, not a joke, making someone else look bad,
making fun and judging,
a threat and a crime, something that needs to stop, a form of hate, aggression and hurting, masking your own sadness, embarrassing someone intentionally, commenting with texts, tweets, posts or messages, using the internet for evil,
provoking shame.
This is a brief overview of what the teenagers in Ireland are facing due to cyberbullying. Come watch!
Most common source of bullying is cyberbullying in Ireland.
40% of secondary school students experience cyberbullying.
68% of Irish parents do not know their child is being cyberbullied.
It's astonishing how Irish teenagers are too afraid to speak up to their parents about being cyberbullied. This can make them feel isolated. The reason for this, I think anyway, is because our parents never grew up in a digital world, so they don't have the experience to support us.
Girls are more likely to be victimised online compared to boys.
Cyberbullying can be in the form of offensive comments on videos or posts, spreading rumours, or hacking into your online accounts.
Irish schools have an anti-bullying policy, however they can be different to implement as much of it happens outside of school hours.
Schools are trying to educate their students by adding cyberbullying to the curriculum in their social, personal and health education classes, also known as SPG.
Most widely used for cyberbullying in Ireland is TikTok, Instagram and Snapchat.
Cyberbullying can happen to anyone. People can create fake anonymous accounts and make personal comments.
In my school, we've attempted to address these issues by making peer-led campaigns throughout the year.
You are not alone.
In Australia, we love to have a laugh with our mates and tease each other, but this can mean the line between joking and cyberbullying can get blurred. Cyberbullying can be overt, covert, or paired with bullying in the offline world. Overt cyberbullying can be shown through microaggressions, small remarks disguised as jokes, or the expression of mateship, making it hard for young people to identify what's really appropriate online. This can be especially challenging when these forms of covert cyberbullying are described as jokes or rites of passage, making it difficult for young people to seek help. Conversely, overt forms of cyberbullying are usually anonymous and exist outside of school and the home, making it really unclear where to go for help. In Australia, the online world is a great tool for finding information and exploring different communities, but it can also lead to falling into echo chambers and being subject to radicalization, especially amongst younger users. At a stage where we're figuring out who we are, many young people are more easily influenced. Algorithms push similar content, shutting out other ideas and creating chambers where extreme ideas could feel normal. It can become hard to navigate through different communities, ideas, and environments. In Australia, we think it's important to educate young people, parents, and teachers on how they can support young people who are being cyberbullied. This could even be education on how to be aware of our language and ensuring that what we say isn't negative or becoming cyberbullying. We need to support our friends and family to be advocates for us and be upstanders against cyberbullying.
In together. So this was what our communities expressed is cyberbullying for them, and it's their national perspective. But now we wanted to ask you for your perspective. So we'll have a Mentimeter, and just to show you, if you can scan it, I'll just explain a little. So just to show you how relative cyberbullying can be, certain countries and people in general consider cyberbullying things that others don't consider. Something that it's a joke or criticism for once can be cyberbullying for others. And it's important to know where we can draw the line. This is a very subjective matter, but it's also a very common one. So although we're not perfect in defining what cyberbullying is, we need to be as good as we can at finding it. So we'll see what you think. So you'll just tell us, we'll show you comments, and you'll tell us if it's cyberbullying, a joke, or just criticism. Let's go.
You do realise people are laughing at you, right?
So just to talk a little bit about this. So most of the room said this is a case of cyberbullying. We actually have to note something, which is with texts and comments and posts, you sometimes don't get the tone. There's no tone. What are you supposed to take from a comment? You can read it very different ways. If it's a person embarrassing themselves with a situation, exposing themselves in a situation they shouldn't be, people commenting, you do realize people are laughing at you, right? Could be just a way to warn them. If a person is posting like a TikTok, dancing, or just having fun, and someone comments, you do realize people are laughing at you, right? We don't have tone, so we need to keep our eyes open. So let's go to the next one.
The next question is, someone is really channeling their inner philosopher today, huh?
Actually, when we wrote this, we were thinking of this comment with a very playful tone. Just probably on a funny post or publication, this could be a comment you would find. Some people might find it offensive. So this is another example of something that can be very controversial. But yes, we agree with you. It's mostly for us a joke.
You can also see throughout our answers here how different, varied the answers are. And you think within the room we'd all know what cyberbullying is and what the definition is, but obviously we clearly don't have the same morals, the same perceptions about it. Did you accidentally tell your cat type this? Did you accidentally tell your cat type this?
So yet again, we're divided. Just to show you that almost every joke can be intended as a little bit hurtful. This is very relative, as you can see. We have mostly that it is a joke, but of course, we're all going to disagree. If you have noticed, there's not been one single comment in which we haven't had all the options showed in the pie chart. So just to show you yet again, this is something that we face.
You might want to consider a different approach. I didn't really understand.
Yeah, so this comment, although it's quite clear to us, this is constructive criticism, it's not something you would commonly find on the internet, because you never get such well-written, structured comment. We are typing things quickly. We just want to give our impression about publications, about people. So we are not as clear most of the time as this comment is. And that's why there's so much room for different interpretations.
It is hard to tell what you are aiming for. Maybe try rehearsing it.
So, rephrasing it.
Oh, sorry, rephrasing it.
So this is the exact same thing as the last one. This is also a very structured, clear comment that it's very hard to find online, unfortunately.
I wish I was as bold as you. I could never post something like this.
What if this is a selfie and a person is saying, oh my God, I wish I was as bold as you. I could never post something like this. Is it criticism or is it cyberbullying? Or if it's a video of someone posting their opinion on politics or economics, I wish I was as bold as you. I could never post something like this. This can be admiration. This can be judging. It's so relative.
Wow, do you ever think before posting?
What if the video this comment was on was a video promoting hate speech? Was a video promoting discrimination? And someone in the comments said, wow, do you even think about it before posting? Wouldn't that be criticism? But what if it was, yet again, something personal? Wouldn't it be cyberbullying? So we can't just treat these cases without particularly, specifically looking at them. We need to be very careful with these types of situations.
Who needs coffee when your post wakes us up?
So, because the definition of cyberbullying is making someone else actually feel hurt, cyberbullying can be this relative. For me, if I got a comment like this in one of my videos, I would laugh because it's kind of funny. But there are people who wouldn't. So is this cyberbullying or is this just a joke? For me, it's a joke, but for someone else, it can be like the last drop of like their social energy that day. It can make them really sad.
Imagine thinking anyone cares about what you think.
I have to be honest, for this one, I thought we were going to have it 100% cyberbullying, because this one is quite direct. But yet again, you see how there's still people who don't think this is cyberbullying, and it's fair, it's our interpretation of things. And we have to remember that the people who are behind the social media accounts are just like us and have this many different opinions. And this cannot be as relative as it is being in this room. We have to have a bigger range of people with different opinions behind these types of actions, behind reporting, taking down comments, taking down videos. We need that. Is it done? Oh no, we have one more.
I think if you explain this a bit more, it might make more sense.
Yeah, so we all agree in this one. Good, we got 2 we agree on out of 10.
I also think it might be about our culture or like our nationalities, because for us, like Irish, we might think it's a joke, whereas some other nationalities might be very strict and might think, oh no, this is not a joke, there's no humor, this is very straightforward. So
Actually, Jaden from Ghana, who will be talking with you through the screen, he actually told us once in one of our meetings that in Ghana, for things to be seen as bullying and cyberbullying, they have to go way further than sometimes us in Europe. That really gives us a place to think, because why am I and the way I'm treated on the internet being affected by where I live?
Okay, so now we're going to do a brief slide on what legislation is in our country. So starting off is Ireland, which is myself. Then we'll have Australia and Ghana, which are going to be talking to us through a Zoom call online. Then we'll have Finland, Malta and Portugal. Harassment, Harmful Communications and Related Offences Act 2020. Nicole Coco Fox took her life at the age of 21, I repeat, at the age of 21, after repeatedly being bullied online for 3 years. At the time of her death, there was no legislation to hold Nicole's abusers accountable. Her mother, Jackie Fox, campaigned tirelessly for legislation to better protect others. As a result of this law, prosecution rates are rising from 95 to 113 people from 2022 to 2023. Presently, there is a government campaign to make people aware of this law. Jackie Fox has shown us that individuals, we can all make a difference. Coco's law created 2 new offences, which criminalise the non-consensual distribution of intimate images. The first offence deals with distribution or publication of intimate images with intent to cause harm. And this can result in an unlimited fine or even 7 years in prison. The second one deals with taking distribution or publication of intimate images without consent, even if there's no content to cause harm. This can cause a fine of $5,000 or even 12 months in prison. So government action. The government is using a number of different approaches to decrease online bullying or online hate. They've allocated $9 million to the budget 2025 to keep students off their phones during school time. This includes the provision to secure pouches, which you can see here. The first one is a phone going into the pouch, and then you can see here it's like a massive strong magnet, which they close and they open, and they have a lock on it during the day, so you can't go on your phone. So this is what our government is doing to try and prevent cyberbullying.
So I'll just ask for your patience, because now it's the part for Australia. I don't know how we're doing over there, guys.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yeah, very well, actually.
So, hi everyone, my name is Fudzy, and I'm the Australian representative for the Safer Internet Forum today. So, one of the most groundbreaking kind of steps in internet safety in Australia was the establishment of the eSafety Commissioner.
Okay, so currently we have problems with lost connection, so I think we might come back to that and we'll go on to Jaden.
I don't know, it's better? Okay, so Jaden, the floor is yours, or the screen is yours.
Hi everyone. I hope you can all hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you go?
Okay. So in Ghana, cyberbullying is not really focused on a lot, even though we have a few laws on it in our country. I mean, within the Ghanaian law, cyberbullying is not explicitly defined or addressed. However, there are some laws that exist regarding cyberbullying. The Electronic Transactions Act of 2008, Act 772, for instance, prohibits unauthorized access, interception, or interference with electronic communications, a provision that may encompass certain forms of cyberbullying. Additionally, the Data Protection Act of 2012, Act 843, imposes obligations on data controllers to ensure the security and confidentially the personal data safeguarding individuals against unauthorized use or disclosure. So even though these laws exist in our country, we very rarely get people exercising these laws or people having reports regarding cyberbullying, because cyberbullying is not really anything focused on in our country. A lot of people lack education on cyberbullying. But however, sometimes once in a while you will get people who actually use the laws to their advantage. And well, yeah, that's what I have to say about cyberbullying in our country. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very much, Jaden.
Hi everyone, so sorry, I had a technical issue. We know how, speaking of internet safety, we know how the internet can be sometimes. So sorry for that.
Don't worry, you can go ahead.
So sorry. Like I was saying, so one of the first kind of groundbreaking moments in Australia for internet safety was the establishment of the eSafety Commission. It was dedicated to making safer and more inclusive environments online, and generally making the online environment and the online landscape a safer place. It is one of the world's first government agencies dedicated to exclusively dealing with online challenges, and it reflects on Australia's, persistence and wanting to move forward, as this is an issue that has kind of come very quickly and changed the world. So, another thing that we have in Australia is the Online Safety Act of 2021, which empowers e-safety with robust tools, many tools to kind of guard and safeguard Australians across various platforms of social media, from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok. This legislation serves as, a beacon of hope for individuals who's felt powerless online when facing harm, and cyberbullying particularly. For children, e-safety is a lifeline in the fight against cyberbullying. The ability to report content is designed to help people who are being humiliated, harassed, intimidated, or threatened, and gives young Australians and their families a sense of control and a sense of security, knowing that they're able to take swift action against these issues, though sometimes it may not always happen as swiftly as we like. It is something that we are working towards, and it's something that we've seen a lot of progress with. Adults too are also empowered through the eSafety Commission. The capacity to report serious harmful online abuse ensures that Australians of all ages can seek support and action when faced with digital challenges, as I've said before. This approach, once again, I cannot stress this, is a testament to Australia's dedication to upholding core values in our country, such as dignity and respect and well-being, especially mental well-being, to everyone in this country, no matter their race, their gender, their religion, especially in the digital age. So that's all I have to say about Australia. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Finland. There is no specific law for cyberbullying in Finland, but however, the same rules and laws are valid online and in real life. Cyberbullying can be, for example, name-calling, mocking, discrimination, intimidation, blackmailing, public humiliation, spreading false information, mean commenting, or leaving someone out. Cyberbullying can be a crime when someone spreads harmful, hurtful, or false information about someone. This can be defined as defamation, which is a crime. Besides, abusing and threatening can be considered as a crime. These two forms of bullying can also be done in internet. Not everyone realized that cyberbullying can be a crime, which can lead being answerable for actions and decisions. Also, underage kids can be held accountable. Usually, cyberbullying fills some criteria of crime.
Malta. The Maltese government and various organizations are very serious when it comes to cyberbullying and teenagers. The Maltese government has set up campaigns, and this is to raise awareness. Teenagers can report it to the police or talk to a trusted adult. There's a lot of teaching on how to be kind and respectful online. Cyberbullying is a big deal in Malta. It's not okay, and there are rules to help available to stop it.
Okay, so Portugal now. So when we're talking about Portugal's fight against cyberbullying, we have to talk about laws and campaigns. When we're talking about laws, we don't have a specific law for cyberbullying. The Portuguese Penal Code actually has multiple provisions that can be applied in situations of cyberbullying, because I'm going to read some of you and you tell me if this is done online, if this can't be cyberbullying. Defamation, insults, threats, coercion, violation of privacy, revenge porn, and stalking. These are all ways, if done online, of cyberbullying. And we have very big penalties for that. They are a crime. So when talking about more specific laws to fight cyberbullying in Portugal, we have the Personal Data Protection Law, which is actually applied in all the European Union, and it protects privacy and personal data, so this data cannot be used for cyberbullying. There are very serious penalties. We also have the law on the protection of children and youth at risk. It provides also measures to protect minors and at risk, including situations of bullying and cyberbullying, so both in person and digital. And we have the Safe School Law, which is not a law, really. It's more of a program that enforces educational and legal measures against bullying in schools, including, of course, cyberbullying. When talking about initiatives and campaigns, we have a few. We actually have a lot, not to brag, but we do. And, and I chose just 4 because we're short on time, as always. So we have the Safe School program, which is actually, it was made by the Public Security Police and the National Republican Guard. They have a very big action in schools. They do lectures, they teach students about cyberbullying and bullying, and they actually, if requested, they can even help in cases of cyberbullying. That's what they do the most. They go to the schools and they address personally victims and aggressors. They have many ways of contacting with children and youngsters. They have now just developed a game which is called Reuela. It has been developed as well with the help of some other European partners, and it has a few like digital challenges for the kids to go through, like a level-up game. And one of them is cyberbullying, because it's all about cybercrimes. And this is a very good way, especially with younger children, to start talking about cyberbullying, to start introducing this issue, even if they don't truly understand everything that's implied when we talk about hate online. So we also have the National Plan to Combat Bullying and Cyberbullying. What this program has that's different from the others, it's that it's not just focused on school action, it's also about families and how this impacts the society. We have the InCode 2030, which is part of Portugal's digital transformation strategy, and it has multiple initiatives that not only promote safe online use, but also ethical, and really question what is right and wrong, not only what is safe. And we have the Victim Support Association, or in Portuguese, Associação de Apoio à Vítima, APAV, and this association offers not only legal support and social support, but also psychological support. They have a helpline and a hotline, which they work 24/7, and the helpline is usually to ask questions regarding if a comment is or isn't, if we are or aren't supposed to report a comment. If we are not sure, like we showed before with the Mentimeter, if a comment can be or not cyberbullying, we can contact this helpline. The hotline, of course, is to report cases we know are cyberbullying, especially if we are the victim or we were present when a situation of this happened. We're testimony of that. We can call this line, and they have a very big partnership with the public security police. They have many initiatives together, and they do this work together.
Okay, so as we all know what cyberbullying is, and we know at least someone who has been through it. And we know it's not a good thing. In some countries, we do have legislations, in other countries, we don't. So raise your hand if you have a legislation in your country that prevents cyberbullying.
Okay, since we have some hands up, leave them up. Jake is going to choose a person, and they're going to talk about what legislation do they have. So this presentation was also to inspire you guys if you don't have legislation in your countries, or if you do and it's not quite working, here you have some suggestions of what can be done.
And the change we can make together.
Thank you very much. So my name is Aria and I come from Austria, and we do have legislation on cyberbullying, but it's also included in, as we have seen in other laws as well, that tackled bullying directly, and it took quite a while to include the cyberspace as a valid space where people are actually acting into the laws. Yeah.
And is it working? Do you feel like it's making a difference, or it needs to be more effective?
Difficult to say whether it's effective. I think we still need to have a lot more awareness raising.
And why do you think it took so long to bring it in? Like, I think if it was anything else, it would have taken a bit quicker. Like, if someone hit you across the face, you'd be like, oh my God, we need to deal in this. But people can say these mean comments, they could be horrible online, and it's taking so long. Like, why is it taking so long? What's the issue?
Are we septic? Are we a little bit conservative in this matter, do you think? Especially in Austria? Like, you're giving your perspective.
Well, as I said, I think it still needs a lot of awareness raising about what cyberbullying actually is. I mean, you have shown with the Mentimeter very well of how tricky the story can be at times, that people are not always aware. And then you have to consider that we have a lot of migration also, that people come in with a lot of different cultural backgrounds, and they have a different perspective on things. There's also a question about language, whether people understand what's really going on. And I think that's something that we still need to work on, especially in education, in schools, but also working with the families.
Thank you so much for answering.
Okay, so we can move on. Okay, so this part is actually just me complaining, this part of this intervention, because we found when we were doing our research for this presentation that, can you just pause for a second? Sorry. That it's so much easier to leave a hateful comment than it is to report it. It shouldn't be like this. The order should be reversed. So we're actually going to show you some screen recordings we made of us trying to report comments on 3 different apps. And you'll see how hard, how tricky. This should be like a very, Monopoly. It takes so long to play. This should be Monopoly because it never ends. Let's go, let's run it. So as you can see, this is a victim's account. And you can see the bully just commented, hey dude, people are laughing at you, you loser. When the victim goes to report loser, so you have loser report message, you'll see how many different criteria, how many reasons for the cyberbullying appear. I don't like it, spam, abuse, harassment, harmful. This doesn't seem a lot. It's some, but it's not impossible to read this. But guess what? Once you click on one of these criteria, way more pop up. And when you click on those, guess what? Even more pop up. This is very hard for a person who has just suffered from cyberbullying. They're not in the mental state to be scrolling through every single one of these bullet points and choose precisely what happened to them. They are not going to be able to do it. People actually lose their will to report the situations because they're so that's such scrutiny it's unnecessary sometimes. We understand why social media does this. It's important to know exactly what happened in that situation, because cyberbullying is a crime, and saying something is cyberbullying is an allegation that can be very serious. But people have a lot of difficulty with reporting things, because if I report a video and I choose one of the reasons, for example, harassment, and another person reports the same video because it's hateful and just says, I don't like it, the report is not going to go as two people reported it. It's two different situations. It's not as strong as if we had something that was more concise, more simple. This is a huge concern for us. You can see in TikTok, it's pretty much the same. You can see every single step you have to go through. See how many criteria there is. This is not something we can deal with. This is not. We get the intention. It's not working. It's not working. People are losing their will to report these types of situations. This should be easier. Do you know how many letters the word loser has? It's 5 letters. Do you know how quickly you can write a comment that destroys someone's life? Do you know how hard it is, how many minutes it takes to report this? This is not okay. We need to change this. We just wanted to set it out for anyone who thinks they can do something about this, because we have to share our perspective, and this is our perspective. This is not working. The report system doesn't work. We also have Instagram, but as you can see, we are still trying to report this video, and it's still not working. So I think we can just skip that part. I think you got the message. It's just that we need to change this. This is not okay.
Okay, so now we're going to play an activity to see your perceptions on kind of the statements that we have put up. So stand up if you agree and sit down if you disagree. So I repeat, stand up if you agree and sit down if you disagree. It is rude to leave a message unread and do not reply. So stand up if you agree, sit down if you disagree.
Where's Jake? So I think you know where you have to go. Sorry. That's how this works.
Why did you decide to stand up?
Because I don't like being ignored.
Valid point.
You stood up as well, right? You think it's rude to leave a message unread and do not reply?
I would say most of the time, yes. So personally, I always try, and I think the minimum is really the thumb up. Then I think that the person thinks, I got the message.
Yeah. So there are people who think that when we face a situation of cyberbullying, we were actually discussing this with Sabrina, who's just over there. She was saying we should always respond, even, this is an opinion, because you have to kill them with kindness. People have different approaches to this, but responding to them and facing these situations ourselves, especially cyberbullying situations, doesn't have to be a job we have to do alone. And this is what we are the message we're trying to send. We can do our part, but these social media platforms also have to do theirs.
Sorry, as well, if you're tuning in online, you can do thumbs up if you agree and thumbs down if you disagree. So you can move on to the next question. Liking a comment or following someone online means I agree with their opinions. So if you like a comment maybe on Instagram, or you follow someone on Instagram and they say something very controversial, you might not agree with it. Does that mean you agree with their opinions because you follow them, or you've liked a comment they've made, or you liked a post, or does it mean you disagree with them?
Stand up if you agree. So for all the people standing down, you're giving platform. When you follow someone or you like someone's comment, you're giving them a place to speak their opinion. It gets to more people. So if you don't agree with what they think and feel like what they're doing is not okay, or it's not something that's, you're not neutral, you really don't agree what they're doing, why are you giving them a place to speak something that can be wrong?
Yeah, and as well as that, on TikTok, if you go through their videos and you go through the comment, the first one that pops up is the most liked comments. If you're after liking it, you're giving this person a platform to see, for everyone else to see their comments. It's like as if there's like 100,000 people who are uniting with this person and agreeing with what they're saying.
And for the people who were, you can sit down. And for the people who were just standing up, like, aren't all opinions like valid? Like when you're liking only the things you like, other opinions are not being shown to the public as much as your opinion. Isn't the internet supposed to be a place where we all get to say what we think about respectfully, but we all get a say? So again, very relative.
Okay, so we're going to go through the next few questions quite quickly because we're running out of time. So if you post something online, you should be prepared to get negative comments if people disagree. Stand up if you agree, sit down if you disagree. So as you can see around the room, there's very mixed opinions, which is great because there's no right or wrong answer. So we'll move on to the next one.
You see that we are short on time, right? It's noticeable.
It is easier to be yourself online than in real life. Which is quite controversial because I think if we had a group of young people, let's say under the age of maybe 15, everyone
Especially
would be standing.
introverts, right?
Yeah, everyone would be standing up. But because of the mix of people we have around us, no one stood up.
It's quite dangerous sometimes if we can just be too much ourselves. We sometimes start being someone with so much liberty, someone that we are not. We just find it easy to say whatever, even if it hurts somebody else.
Posting constant updates on your social media means a person is looking for attention. Stand up if you agree, sit down if you disagree.
Okay, moving on.
It's the last one, I promise. Making a mean comment online about someone once is cyberbullying.
Then stand up. It doesn't mean people cannot change, but we have to call the situations what they are. And if it's mean, if it hurts somebody, if it makes them feel well and feel bad, it might be cyberbullying, even if it's once.
So what about the future? In an ideal future, there would be no cyberbullying at all. However, it's difficult to completely eliminate cyberbullying because internet is so important to us and there are many ways to cyberbully. We have to pay attention to the harms of cyberbullying. Schools and parents should teach children how to behave online. We also need more laws and regulations to stop cyberbullying. We can't do this alone, but together we can do this.
Thank you so much for your attention. I promise I'll make this quick. So after this, we'll have lunch, and then everyone has a badge which will say where their deep dive session is, so please go to that room. Now we have sadly come to the end of our workshop. As we wrap up our discussion on cyberbullying, it is important to remember the real impact it has on people's lives. I hope you can take at least 1 point from this workshop and try and make a difference like us teenagers are. Together, we can make a digital world a safer place for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can ask us. I think we've come, if you want, you can come and ask us. We're not going to keep you here longer, so if you want to go, it's fine as well. Thank you.
Thank you.